All right, Mr. Taylor, step forward to the stand, please.
So,
Which is the things with the two microphones. Thank you. All right, court is now in session. Please, nobody make any comments unless you are the person speaking at the microphones. All right, so I was just talking to the district attorney, and he's given me what he is willing to do, and I'll explain that after. But first, what is it you're here today? Let's get that on the record. What are you here for today?
um, I just want to start the process of getting my record clean. I want to be. I want to. There's things I want to do in the future that I can't do with a dirty record, and
Okay.
especially one as dirty as mine. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of trying to clean that up and change
All
my
right.
ways.
So, what is something, just so we can speak to the future plans for you, what is something that you want to do in the future?
I want to be mayor of this fine city.
You want to be the mayor.
I want
Okay.
to be the mayor.
I believe that is something that anybody who would want to be a mayor is reasonable to want to get an expungement. So can you speak to your 3 pages or more? It's probably more, multiple pages of crimes in the last, Jesus, year? Year? Is it a
Uh,
year? You've been charged a lot.
uh, Around 8 months, 7 or 8 months.
You've been charged a lot, Mr. Taylor.
I have been charged a lot, yes.
So, like, why should the state, why should the district attorney, why should the state want to even remove any charges, considering that the last charges you did was possession of a illegal weapon on the 22nd of May, and also, it was just a minor charge. It was brandishing a firearm on, 2 days ago. No, yesterday. So, why should the state hear you out here?
Because I think I'm genuinely a nice guy, and I think I have my toes dipped in some wrong places, which I'm willing to undip my toes like, out of. I definitely want to do that. I definitely want to be a good person and stop committing these heinous crimes.
Okay,
Um, and yeah, I just want to do good for the city and the people.
okay. So you want to start the process. So looking at your record, like the recent isn't too bad, right? So the last few charges you got were you got let me see, you got something today, so exceeding speed limit. Yesterday you got brandishing. The 22nd you got that possession, and then on the 13th you got unlawful flight, hit and run. Then officer involved shooting on the 11th, boosting on the 9th, possession of CDS. So what has happened to you between the 9th of May and the 27th of May, which is today's date? What has
Um,
changed, Mr. Taylor?
uh, well, I just think crime is it's not good for me, It's always putting me in prison, and prison isn't a good place to be.
You
Um,
literally ran away
As I said,
yesterday.
I want to start helping people, and I'm definitely never going to be
Obviously, I'm not going to keep that
a
account.
police officer. I don't think they'd ever allow that. So I think my only way of helping people would be to become the mayor,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can help make the city even better than it already is after Harris's term, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So I got the state's opinion. I did give him a rundown on what your record looks like. And what they're willing to do as of now is remove previous law breaks from 3 months ago. So felonies from 3 months ago. Okay. So that's what they're willing to do as a start. Now, what the district attorney told me is that he wants to see you um, continue down the path of not committing crimes, and then in future we could have another expungement trial, and we could remove stuff. All right, that's what he thinks. What is your opinion on that?
So just so I'm clear, so he's willing to expunge
Everything from
crimes that
3 months ago and onwards,
okay,
or sorry, and
and
before.
then yeah. And then going forward, obviously committing no crimes, and then we can have another hearing at a later date to discuss the ones that have been within the last 3 months.
Yes.
That seems very fair, to be fair.
Okay. So here's my opinion on it. So I think that, I feel like this is a very breakneck turn for you. You know, you just was brandishing, or sorry, you were just in possession of a legal weapon. So, well, on the 22nd. So, like, I'm a bit confused on are you satisfied with the amount of money you've made at a crime? Are you satisfied with the amount of cars you had? Like, do you still have shit stored up? Like, I feel like this is a strange term from you just looking at your record. Can you help me understand, please?
Um, well, I won't lie to you, I'm actually kind of broke. So I'm definitely not satisfied with the money that I've made from crime. It's actually not that good. Because of the fines, etc., and getting caught, you lose all the money you've stolen or whatever. So the money side, meh. Um, as I said, I just kind of want to start helping people instead of hurting people and causing issues for police officers. I'd rather be known as a good guy than a bad guy. Because as I said before, I do think I am a good guy.
How does your friends feel about this? I wouldn't presume that you were in a gang, but I know you have, for sure, have friends for how many crimes you committed. You can't do all this stuff alone, right? Like, your
Yeah,
friends are
100%. I have
gonna. Is
friends.
this gonna be a problem that you're gonna be hunted down to the ends of the earth because you're gone soft, as they say, and not to say that you are, but is that gonna be a
Um,
problem? You think?
no. I can safely say I have the best friends in the world. So I definitely don't think it will be a problem with my group of friends.
Okay. So let's look in the future. I don't know how long the mayor terms are, but let's say I think they're like 3 months or something. Let's say 3 months in the future, you get yourself on the docket. You're like one of the runners up, and you don't get it. Where do you go from there? Playing the record, you don't have the mayor spot. Um, where are you going with your life? Are you going back to crime? Are you gonna maybe become a lawyer? Are you gonna start your own business? Are you gonna what are you gonna do?
I think I could definitely start my own business. I've got a few business ideas I could potentially try and push out there if the
Hmm.
mayor route didn't work out.
Okay.
But I also work at PDM, so I could focus on being a car salesman. That's pretty good money. Um, Maybe open a nightclub or something along them lines. I've owned a nightclub in the past, so I've got experience with that, so I could go back to that kind of job opportunity. So there's plenty of avenues I could take on the legal side if I wasn't to become the mayor of this fine city.
Okay. All right. You can go back to your seat, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So I've considered what the district attorney has said to me in confidence, and I have repeated what he said to the best of my ability. And I've heard what Mr. Taylor here has said. Does anybody in the gallery want to speak for Mr. Taylor? I'll allow anybody to walk up. I know there's a lot of people who are friends with him. Go ahead, stand up one at a time. If anyone wants to speak on his behalf. Yes, sir. Who are you? What is your name?
My name is Marco Vasquez.
Oh, Mr. Vasquez. Go ahead. Why should he get an expungement today?
I'll be the first to say that
I
Danny's
love this.
past actions were very heinous and drastic, but I've seen a change in him, both as somebody who works for me at PDM. He's often doing the pickups for me and putting in more effort than I've seen in a long time. Um, I've just seen like this new person come out of him, and I think that he sees the error of his ways, and so I just feel it's important everybody should get a second chance, and I think it's good if we see him take these first steps.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Well said. Go back to the gallery. If anyone else wants to stand up, go ahead. We'll get the man in the black first. Yes, sir. Who are you?
My name is Geo Sharp.
Hello, Mr.
I
Sharp.
would uh, I would absolutely say Danny Taylor, being who he is, he's currently, as he stands, not an upstanding citizen. But with the past things that he has done as a citizen of Los Santos, I would definitely say, um, with the steps that he's currently taking, he would definitely be a right candidate I'm a manager of Auto Exotic. He has definitely proven himself as an upstanding citizen of the city. I would, I wouldn't put anybody above him to do any of this work beyond anybody else. I mean, he's always the
These guys
person
are
to
so
be
full of shit.
willing to help the to help
It's
anybody,
not gonna
no matter
change
who
my
they are.
verdict, but
If somebody came up to him and
it's
asked him a
funny.
question, he's the first person to answer that question. He is always more than willing to help anybody and everybody when it comes to personal issues within the city.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well said. Sir on the far left, go ahead. Come up. My far left. Yes, your name, sir. Sir, you might be whispering there.
You're right. I was. Nate Daniel is my name.
Mr. Daniels, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to speak necessarily to the crimes or past committed. I'd rather speak to the character, as I feel that is what an expungement case is about. And for as long as I've known Danny or Mr. Taylor, he's always shown great loyalty to me and obviously Marco as well, who spoke before, and Gio. And I feel like that's a very, very important characteristic in someone that's running for mayor. Leaves them loyal to the city and loyal to the the people within them, and everyone associated with the city. And I feel that's much more important than a past felony, in my opinion.
All right. Go ahead and head back to the gallery. Does anyone else want to speak? Yes, sir. Come up.
Hello, my name is Rob Burr. I would also like to speak to Mr. Danny's character because he helped me get out of bad situations a lot. I wasn't making a lot of money, and then he helped me get a very good paying job and actually helped me pay off my own business. So I was able to start the White Widow dispensary. So he helped a lot with that. So I feel like that also just proves that Mr. Taylor has always been a good person, like always. And just even though he's had made past mistakes, he has always been a good person, and this is just the next step to prove that he's a good person. That's all I've got.
Okay. All right. Everyone else, please be seated. Does anybody want to object to this? Please stand and come to the stand if you would. This includes the bailiff, even though you're not in the gallery, but you are an officer of the law. But if not, I can go ahead with my verdict. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to the courthouse and showing up and speaking on behalf of Mr. Taylor here. My verdict is that I am actually one to agree with the district attorney. As a start, we will remove the last 3 months. Not last 3 months, the past 3 months. So those charges and up. So 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, whatever. That will get expunged. But the current, whatever's left there, will remain on his record until he can show good behavior, no more law breaking, and I would expect everybody in the gallery who spoke on his behalf to hold him to that, because if I see one step out of line, I will not be approving any further expungements, as I very much value someone at their word. I'm not speaking on the behalf of traffic infringements or whatever, but if I see unlawful flight, if I see discharge of a firearm, if I see any illegal possession or anything, I'm going to be denying future ones, at least in my courtroom. Now, what I would recommend, Mr. Taylor, as someone who is previously a career criminal trying to clean yourself up, I would recommend going to your houses, going to your cars, searching everything, finding anything illegal, and taking it out. And giving it to either the bailiff to my left or him, or trusting your faith that you won't get arrested on turning it into officers at Mission Row. If you want to get something set up like that, I'm willing to facilitate, but other than that, that is my verdict. Court is adjourned for this case. We have another one coming up in a few minutes. Thank you for coming.